Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am very happy to bring you this news. A new Hampshire poll, one of the first states voting, a very important state in this primary process. Bernie Sanders, first place, 23%, above Pete Buttigieg, 5 points above. And Joe Biden falls all the way back to 14%, 9 points down from Bernie Sanders, but tied with Elizabeth Warren for third place. I mean, I heard they're working together now, like a deal behind the scenes that Warren is going to take down Bernie for Biden. I mean, it might be a conspiracy, but it might be real too. I think it might be real. But anyway, Klobuchar is also in double digits at 10%, Yang 6%, Gabbard 5%, Steyer 4%, Delaney 1%, Deval Patrick and Michael Bennett. If you combine their scores, then they have at least 5 supporters. So if you look at the numbers, you need 15% to qualify for any delegates. So if you get 14% of the vote, you don't get any delegates. So what I'm thinking is some Yang, Gabbard, Steyer, and Klobuchar supporters might hop off their bandwagons as the primaries get closer and closer. We're only 2 weeks away from Iowa. And as we get closer, they'll see their candidates are nowhere near getting delegates. And a lot of them have second choices they really like, especially Gabbard and Yang. Their second choice is typically Bernie. They might run off into Bernie. But what does this mean overall? So this poll with Bernie Sanders at 23% means that Elizabeth Warren is now going to accuse Bernie Sanders of doing 9/11. How do you think the media is going to frame this poll tomorrow? Bernie Sanders takes slight lead over Amy Klobuchar, but Pete Buttigieg is in a very strong second, only down 2.5 points times 2. Andrew Yang has 6 supporters. Tulsi Gabbard is not in the race anymore. Elizabeth Warren is now Elizabeth Warren is I can't say that. But in all seriousness, this shows that the ground game is working. And when I say ground game, I mean for Sanders, Yang, and Gabbard, they're all going up in the polls, although Yang and Gabbard are really far away from that 15% mark you have to hit for delegates. Bernie Sanders, 23%. It shows that even with all the media, they can only control so much. The media only has a 40% approval rating. So although CNN's lying, although MSNBC's lying, although Fox News is lying, although the whole world is against Bernie, that doesn't matter as much as the human connection people can keep on making on the ground. That's why this movement is so different and so hard to shake off. And media will label Bernie supporters as a cult, but it's much deeper than that. Don't believe them. Just keep on trucking ahead. If anything, watch the media stories. Watch the smears I cover on my channel, so subscribe. But watch these stories and use it as motivation. Like every single night, if you ever feel like depressed about something, just watch one of these videos where MSNBC or The View is slandering Bernie. It's like a shot of adrenaline into the arm. You'll be motivated to get out there, campaign for Bernie, knock on doors, donate to Bernie. I actually drove up to New Hampshire to see Bernie at a town hall. I could make a video on my experience there if you guys want. I got front row seats. Bernie Sanders was right in front of me. I got a picture with him. I thought I was transcending into heaven. I did not believe it was actually happening. I was like shaking, seeing him like right in front of me, hearing the voice when he's like the billionaire class. Like it was great. It was a cool time. But seeing him there, it was in a small room with like 300 people in it. It was like at capacity. But it's really community centered. People there want someone who they feel like is fighting for them. That's why they're so open to outsiders and non-traditional candidates and people who will go against the system. So I think Bernie's doing well here. And this poll is just another signifier that Bernie has the momentum. And I think it might show that Warren's attempt failed, because this poll was taken from January 13th to the 16th. So that was within the time that all these media stories were going around. So maybe it helped. Maybe it helped because, especially in New Hampshire, they like a fighter. They like someone who's fighting against the establishment. So that might even feed into what voters want there more, because they see Bernie, they see him, and they see how obvious it is that he's being smeared and how hilariously inept the media is at hiding it. But anyway, great news. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. Comment down below if you think this is actually showing something about the race. How do you think the media is going to cover this poll tomorrow?